Ad Astra Abyssos. Recently, the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission, and after careful consideration, we believe that
the Traveler would be the most suitable candidate, right?
I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help? Well, let me go over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Hounds are attacking the roots of the sacred sakura nearby.
Rift Hounds?
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. But this time, they are attacking in alarming numbers with great aggression, and the sacred sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust you are aware of this already? For a long time, the sacred sakura has been absorbing filth from Inazuma. If it were ever damaged, the filth would once again invade Inazuma, causing great catastrophe. That's why this is a rather urgent case. Ad Astra.
They're attacking the sacred sakura! Stop them! Wow, there are so many of them! No wonder the Tornado Commission needed help! Come on, Traveler, you can take...
Torn to oblivion!
Shogun? Wait, no! Could also be...
Oh, it's you two. It has been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them! That was amazing!
I'm making early preparations for what is to come. Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things. Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the out...
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself. Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. I considered this matter worthy of my attention. So if the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation.
Why?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the... But Rift Hounds attacking the sacred Sakura. It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell. Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland... The monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil, and the Rift Hounds were always their advanced Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts. So you've heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these... But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this...
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together. From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more
Paimon feels so safe when we're in Ace company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kinda makes you feel invincible. Oh yeah, after we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about... This color! It's similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage. Let's follow it. It should be this way.
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back to health.
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it... Huh? What's this? Could they be dead people? It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen ghosts on our journey, but why would they appear here?
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
What happened here? Could you...
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can! The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you there's no we will defend Inazuma until our dying breath. You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness. Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They're merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path. Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you. They'll devour it all.
But look, none of that seems to be going on around here.
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. Now! There's no time left. The almighty shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely. I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's the shogun? You're back. Please, we beg you. You have to help us. Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
Over? But what do you...
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace, as there are no monsters. Nor is there anything else here.
What? But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with...
Hey, calm down.
I think I understand. Almighty Shogun. Yes, we were right to place our trust in the Almighty Shogun. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
What's wrong with him?
He's gone.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about. But somehow...
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was a samurai's memory that the sacred sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the Rift Hounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the... An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified, it presents in the form of a memory. Purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for too long.
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing at this
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now was precisely the disaster that happened in Inazuma. Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others came from the disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late. Otherwise, but my friend, Kitsune Saigu, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the responsibility of I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in Kanria?
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life. I never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe that she kept her promise to me until the very last. But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day, both on the land itself.
Hey.
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss. All my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time, powerless to keep the ones I cherish. But after my clash with human ambition, I thought long and hard. When I traveled around Inazuma with you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the centuries. A glimpse of human potential. Moving forward inevitably invites further loss. But also, just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward. All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. But as Inazuma's god, warriors of the past who spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in the... I will never forget you. And
He's taking all this pretty hard.
come on. Let's keep investigating the damage.
As expected, there are a load of rift hounds here too!
Leave them to me.
With A.
Why would you ask that?
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish! Vaporize them all in one go!
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy. Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time. I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters lying in wait in this area, I must make sure I have the strength to...
Makes sense! Spoken like a seasoned show. The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need to tell the Yashiro Commission about this. Hey, the same light is leaking out again!
Furuyama?
Almighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant...
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds like this guy's talking about...
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a tea master and a member of my retinue. Though blind, Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of...
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in Your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me. It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest. I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, after all, it's quite a mess out there.
What should we do? Yeah. Sheesh. There's monsters everywhere out there. It's pitch black and loads of people have been in...
I see. So, they have fought their way this far. Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless to me. So, I decided to... And now the almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away. Imagine if this was something that even the almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then? People flee out of a desire to live on, and the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life. But me, I have no such thoughts, and I have... The almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over just listening to her stories. I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. Over time, I've come to understand her mindset. Quite the romantic at heart. One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears completely over the passage of time. And so, people must make the most of the life they have. Seize the chance to enjoy it while it lasts. So you see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced countless wonderful things in life, and have no reason not to be satisfied.
Perhaps.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the almighty Shogun for the last time. Ah, what a pity. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled old so-and-so by then. So, never... Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content and forgetting to serve. The almighty Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. A truly egregious loss of... One moment, I'll just... Where in the world is the tea set? I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure.
Can't see a tea set anywhere around here.
Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, what a fool I'm making of myself. I couldn't possibly have my guests fetch it themselves. That would be most discourteous indeed.
Don't worry about it. Take a rest. We'll be back right...
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No, no, no. Your humble servant implores you, not with the war raging outside.
This place is... complicated. Leave it to us.
But... well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I need the almighty Shogun to personally collect my tea set for. I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final...
Where should we go to find a tea set? Oh, why don't we go to the Kamisato estate? There'll definitely...
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. I'll fetch that for you right away. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the tea set. I'll bring that here as soon as it's ready.
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler. Please.
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he described didn't sound anything like you at all.
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial arts. So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon. He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it. The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Indeed we did. It was, in her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a better future held. They are similar, but when you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. Now, it seems like she was right. Well,
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath...
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary. An ambition ambition is a yearning for something material or a concrete outcome. It is finite. Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is
That's, quite a lot to take in.
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about. I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity, she said. Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the but in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one. Not with...
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity, but now I no longer cling to what was lost.
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your Excellency's use.
It's quite beautiful. Thank
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the Almighty Shogun.
It's all good, sir.
Let us return. We ought not keep
Hey, he wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long. As was the case.
So we won't get to drink his tea? We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate. Well, this chance won't come often, and we do have a tea set. Perhaps I should try my hand at making us a pot of... I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. I doubt I should have any major problems doing it myself. The tea is ready. Please get... So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me. I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who I watched pass even further back. Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably lighthearted. But now, the events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu.
She died in that disaster.
Yes. She went to Konria alone, without telling. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead. But this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me.
It's great.
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the Tea Master's memory. Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to...
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Once again, please leave them to...
Hey! Are you sure?
Fear not. Illusion shattered!
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
My apologies.
Don't worry about it. Just we'll deal with...
I'm quite all right.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Come on, man.
They're coming back for more!
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, ma'am.
You appearing before us once more has reignited the hope. This hope is the light that will...
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too!
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Protect the almighty shogun!
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought...
Thank you all.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly aw- The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the generals.
When everyone sees the almighty...
I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, no.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as, with you leading us, we will claim back everything.
Glory to the Shogun! Glory to the Shogun!
They're gone.
It was both. The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor. The grief, the result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley line. But even so, they are due a resolution.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now, and that's what counts.
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon. I used to think just like that samurai. That I was first and foremost a warrior. And my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done. Yes, they are. They are strong, and as the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you—
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This will take time, but eventually, the future, no matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to— Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. It does not appear that the threat will escalate for the time being. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
Alrighty then, let's move on. He looks calm on the outside, but she seems to have changed a lot since— Huh? What's wrong, eh? What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
It looks like the situation. No need. I need to go to the cave.
Why?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past. We're finally here. The entrance should...
Whoa! Where'd that Torii gate come from?
It's getting worse again. But this is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Mako. It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is... Where are we Paimon's dizzy. Whoa. This place... Look, it's another A!
We meet again, traveler. This body is an assistant to the one within. But it is, should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Wait! Paimon knows that voice! Is that... the puppet?
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater... Try to change her.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something? But they both just want the best.
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty, in which has been vested power over all. She who promised a dream to her subjects. Raiden A. In the end, even the proud and mighty Oni maiden was cut down in disgrace. Till your blade has been cleansed of her blood and filth, never shall it shine as brightly as it once did. In symbols before.
Have you finally defeated her?
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain?
How the heck?
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living being's, including you.
Then, does that mean this is...
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will... If I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change, and Inazuma can never move. This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries, and no matter how many times we must fight. 500 years ago, humanity proved their strength in battle. Here in the present, they rely on their ambition to challenge wayward practices, tear them out like the disease. It is about time. I understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke are true eternity, a short moment for which the show... I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall what during my absence. I place everything in Miko.
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
She forgets why she's there in the first place. It could happen. And then she might never leave again. Yeah, we should help her out, like we did last time. The quicker she gets through this, the better. Is there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her with... Well, whatever. We can't let anything bad happen to A while she's... Oh, but we also can't get in there. Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice. Don't feel Paimon now. Okay, maybe if we both... Oh, you're right. Paimon nearly forgot about her. Who knows if she really understands these consciousness realm plane thingies more than we do, but there's no one else we can turn...
Someone's not in the best of moods. I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
But you're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech, do you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase.
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened. It's she...
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an ending. Impossibly stubborn. Jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable, presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing short of the very peak of her abilities. Yes, that sounds like A all right. You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now? Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help? Who?
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose, for sure!
Uh-huh. You're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura. And from what I've heard, it's a little different from...
Because Raiden Makoto is...
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. You're the ones who have actually been there, so you tell me. Anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little difficult to explain things later on, that's all. First things first. Follow me to... Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how crafty I need. To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, I'm A's familiar, so I can sense her rough whereabouts. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location of this realm...
So, it's abstract, but has a location, but you don't know where it is, but you...
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time. This is precisely why when entering the plane of euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness in a physical object first.
What? Alright, well, Paimon's staying here then. You two...
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
You... Paimon's had it up to here with both of you! Oh, fine!
Oh. Well, if you're quite sure, then of course. Now, I say. Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have... By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter in... Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination. Well then, the door is open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond if any... I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake, and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
Nico, you better know what you're doing!
That's enough chatter. Get to... Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
I got a new... Huh? How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in... This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too. You bring honor to the title of... Now these two return one... Final duel? Huh. Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new. There is no escape! Energy they consume, great enough to vaporize the oceans and turn day into night. And the will they demanded, sufficient to penetrate minds and crush dreams. This is... I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and... But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the... You need not worry about the future. And you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon... Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think... Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat? It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
Hmm? Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces. Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the... I left a faint fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... Well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came, but... Everything happened so suddenly. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness. Did you know what was about to happen in I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore. In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the but I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm sure you must have wanted to shed tears many... Don't look down on me. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to Here, take it. Before my last shred of consciousness, but it is you who must take the most...
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh? Is it really? Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh? All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is... Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity...
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. So that was the turbulence I was sensing. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this point in time without any And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely...
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything...
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power.
I know what you mean. Perhaps a higher power really was involved in all of this. But whatever the explanation, her solution... Without the sacred Sakura, Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred Sakura, but to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred Sakura and Makoto's consciousness, but unfortunately, you never did persuade me.
No, but I understand why now. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
The sacred Sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like.
Ugh. Now we see who's pulling the string.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today. And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in that same time, centuries of battling took place on the inside, did it? Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you? At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies in the flow of time within that space. Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately help A.
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great shock to me when the traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome. You too have my thanks. You have done much for me, and I will never forget it.
A, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your emotions. Have you managed to calm down? After all, you saw Makoto in there.
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my... I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could unfold. Oh, she even factored my immaturity. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived. I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again. That's amazing!
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the Shadows Cast. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future, and both...
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you. I graciously
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Makoto said the exact same...
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of shogun for a couple of days? Actually, no. Forget that. Far more
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand. Then, we will give careful consideration to the After that, I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
Really?
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under law. I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma. I'm looking forward to it.